and this video is going to be about how to use Google Drawings as part of a virtual training. One of the other lessons that we've already recorded, maybe you've looked at, had to deal with Google Jamboards. So let's talk about the difference between Jamboards and Google Drawings for a moment. First of all, Google Jamboards are very simple. They're the simplest of the tools that we would describe as possible ways to deal with breakout rooms, emulate flip charts, things of that nature. Google Drawings have advantages and disadvantages just as Google Jamboards does. So you have to kind of think in advance about how you're going to use the Jamboards, what you're going to use them for, and then decide which of the tools might be the best. But let's talk about it. First of all, once again, Google Drawings are saved in My Drive, and they are accessed through My Drive as a general rule. And you'll see here I created a special folder for the July 2020 virtual training that we did. And that's where I saved the drawings for Google Drawing that we would use in that training. And to create one, it's very similar to what you do with Google Jamboard. You click on New, and you would click on More, and you would click on Google Drawings, and that will create a new blank Google Drawing sheet for you. That sheet will automatically be saved by Google in your Google Drive, and you can access it by going to your Google Drive at any time. You, in order to create Google Drawings or Google Jamboards, have to have a Google account. Google accounts are free, so if you have a Google email address, it's free. You have Google Drive for free. As a result of that, you don't have to pay anything for it. So it doesn't cost you anything to get to Google Drive and Google Drawings and Google Jamboards and other things that Google offers. Participants don't have to have an account at Google in order to be able to access a board, as long as you give appropriate sharing permissions when you create the Google Drawing. So let's take a look now at a few things, some of the controls, and it is available offline if you want it to be offline. But again, let's look first of all at this row across the top. You have a undo button to undo the most recent changes since it was saved. You have a redo to bring those changes back. You have a print icon, and if you click that, it will take you to the print controls on your computer. There's one here to paint a format, which I don't think you will use. There's one to allow you to zoom in, zoom out from the view that you currently have on your desktop. There is the select icon, which is just like you would expect with a mouse. If you have that, you click on whatever it is you want, and it opens that box and highlights it. You have the ability to draw a line with Google Drawings, something you could do with Jamboards as well, but it's a little bit easier here in Google Drawing, I think. And if you want to get rid of it, you just click on something and can click on cut. You can select whether you want a line, an arrow, elbow connectors, curved connectors. You draw a curve, you're going to do a polyline, or you just want to scribble. And in one of those you can do on a Google Drawing. Next, you see there is an option for a shape. You can click on that, and it has a variety of shapes that it will build for you and insert into your screen. For example, maybe I want an arrow like that. So I'll just here and use draw that arrow for me. I'm going to delete that now. Oops, delete that, cut it. Other shapes, arrows of different kinds. You have call outs that you can use, like for a voice, a quote from someone. You can also put in equation symbols into Google Drawings. If you want to just create a text box, it's very simple. Just click on this box there, and it will draw a text box for you. The reason you have this circle that follows me everywhere I go is because of the way we're recording this. But this is a text box, and that's all you have to do, create a text box. Now, you can get fancier with it, though. I'll show you that just a little bit. You have tools here to create borders around the box, put shading in the box, things like that. We'll look at those in a moment. But for now, let's just go ahead and take a look at inserting images. You can upload an image from your computer, You can search from the web, which will be a Google search again. And just like with any Google search, over here, you type in the word of what you're looking for. So maybe I'm looking for a picture of a hospital. And I click that. And there's some pictures of hospitals that I can select. And all I have to do if I want to insert one, say we want this one right here, is to click it. And it will insert that image into my Google drawing. And I make it size again follows me know recording, and I can drag it to position on the Google drawing that I want. I'm going to delete that. So again, you can get them from by searching for web, drive. It'll take a sure Google Photos. If you have some, I can put URL in, so I could even put in a URL for a web page, for example, and you'd be able to see that on the screen. I can have my webcam on my computer to take a photo. This button right here is if I want to add a comment. So maybe I would have something pre-done on the page, and I want people to make comments on it. So the teams could make comments this way. This is a comment. I noted that this is an excellent way to think of problems. And I see here that I deleted my image of the tree, which was a mistake on my part. So if I want to edit the comment later, I can do that. It shows the comments off to the side so that they are overlaying what's on the screen. I can add a link to that comment. I want other people to comment on it as well. So I'm going to delete that comment. And let me go back to a different one of these that has a tree on it. Let's take this one so you can see exactly what it looked like to start with. So let's add, use this, and I'm going to go from their own area. So I'd say or problem description here. And maybe I want to use some tools. So I want to fill that in the background. I want to create a border around it. So I'll say let's create a border there. And maybe I want to make this bold. Now, this is different than Google boards for several ways. Number one, I have all the usual controls. I can bold, I can italic, I can make text a different color. So let's just say that this text is black. Just go here and select red, and it'll make it red. I have a highlight color, so I could highlight the words if I choose to do that and pick what color I want to hide them in. I can paste a link. I can comments. We already looked at that. I align the text right or left or center. I can expand or minimize the line spacing between lines. I can do numbered lists. I can bulleted lists. I can outlet. I can indent. I can clear text formatting. I can set direction left to right if you're working with language that goes from left to right, like English. Or I can do it from right to left if you're using various other languages that use a left to right type of a text. For example, I think Japanese works to right, maybe some Arabic as well. I'm not sure. Again, there are 3 dots, and I have this format options that I could let if I want to. I can look in rotation text. I can rotate 90 degrees. I can flip it. So flipping basically in the case if I flip that text box inserted, it would tend to flip text or an image at least. I can flip it vertically or horizontally. So those format options. I also have positionings here. I can position it X number of inches from the top or bottom on X and Y axis. A lot of things to do here. Text fitting, so we'll fit text. I can create shadows. I can do reflections. Most of that you aren't need to know about. But here again is another very important thing. If you're going to use this for breakout rooms in a Zoom or training, ways is very, very important. And right now it's set so that anybody has this can view it, but they make it so anybody has this link can change or edit it. So I'm an editor of them, or maybe I want people to be able to add comments like we looked at, instead of actually changing the content of the screen itself. But I would recommend that you save it to edit, because the breakout rooms have people that be able to edit and type things into the Google Drawing. And again, in order to get the link, it's right here, or I can do copy like this and copies it to my clipboard. I would go back to Zoom. I would paste that link into the chat box. Now, here's another very important to know. We'll mention again toward the end when we talk about disadvantages. Every single Google Drawing needs a URL. So if we're going to have 3 teams and we want all 3 of them to have the same drawing, for example, we'll be working on typing problem description and up on understand what the beliefs led to these issues, what the values are, behaviors, the consequences. You would have to have URL for each breakout room, different URL, unlike Jamboards where you can one URL. So it's a little bit more cumbersome that way. You'd have to paste, if you're going to have 3 breakout rooms with an assignment like this, you'd have to paste the URL for each of the breakout rooms to Zoom chat. It's not that hard to do. What I recommend in that case is you create a Word document front and you put the URL for Team 1, 2, Team 3 into that Word document. That way you can copy and paste all 3 of those URLs at one time, paste them into the Zoom chat link. So, talk more about a couple of things here. In addition to having all the options formatting, let's talk about some limitations. There's a single page limit. If you've done the Google Docs already, you remember there was a box up here. You could add more pages and you could have up to 20 in a single Jamboard. Each Google Drawing is a document. So you have a single page limitation, which would be a limitation. But what that means might be great for a full exercise where everybody working on one page and you want to capture all the comments at once. So one of the things we do in our virtual training is edit various scenarios, different kinds of problems. For example, teen pregnancy. And we used like this and talked about the belief led to the issue. So many unborn or teenage pregnancy and group type those beliefs and type values in with behaviors in and consequences, and we work this as a group. So I think Google Things is best used where you're going to use it as a full group, again, in lieu of the Zoom whiteboard, because you have a lot of editing capabilities. You can add photos, you can videos, you can add URLs, a lot more powerful than just what you get with whiteboard. Now, again, as I mentioned, each breakout room would have a URL, so you could put all the URLs for all the breakout rooms into the Zoom chat, so that everybody can access the page they're supposed to, and you make sure those are titled Team 1 link, Team 2, Team 3 link. I recommend creating a drive for each training. Keep all of your drawing plan to use that folder so you can find them quickly. Things will be saved by Google Drive into that folder. If that's what you choose to create them, you can let Google Drive and then move them into a folder for your training later on. So easy to find. Now, this is just something we found, and maybe just an OT, but we found iPads seem to have some trouble with Zoom. So if you're going to be doing Zoom, I would be using the computer if all possible. Just do a tablet. So those are really the features. Again, and images or videos. I do that by connect to the MAI homepage. You can add all the things you want into Google Drawing. Very easy to do. It's a useful, but perhaps not quite as easy to use as Google Jamboard. There's a lot more flexibility, a lot more, especially in terms of formatting. So again, when I create a box, I can decide one advantage with Google is I directly want, or I can extend it just horizontally if I want. All you could do is drag the corner of the whole size. Again, here, drag one, choose to do so, change the size box. If the text is smaller font, instead of 12 point, I might go to 10 point. So I fit in each box. One of the other advantages of Google Drawings as opposed to Jamboards is in Jamboards, each scene had a maximum of 50 characters. You can put a sticky any Jamboard. Google Drawings does not have that 250 character limitation. It's virtually unlimited as long as you can fit into one page. So the way these are, as you would imagine, a picture was one I did from the internet. I drew these arrows using the line that I create here. And so again, I have all these created in advance. You don't want people to have to take the create their own drawings, have them already created, put in a little help. Looks like your description here. You would tell them type what you think are this problem, what are those to certain values, to certain behavior and consequences. That's about it for drawings. This rule again, probably not quite as simple for people to know and as Google Jamboard, but still it's well worth considering because of the case.